Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Smackdown and Superstars. We have an impressive array of episodes for you here today. It's the go-home show for Extreme Rules, and let's just get right into the action here. Alright, we have a dark match here before the main taping of Superstars. It is Miami Vices taking on the current FCW Tag Team Champions, the Ghost Hunters. I believe their in-game name is actually the Ghostbusters, but I changed the name since that was kind of stupid. Brad Maddox, Liam Kruger. Roderick Strong gets Brad Maddox in the stronghold, and he taps out in about 9 minutes. So, the FCW Tag Team Champs did pretty okay for themselves. You know, you can't shake a stick at it good a main roster match. But, you know, they were no match for the main experience of Miami Vices here on Superstars. And then we begin the ring with the newest member of the WWE roster, Austin Aries, cutting a promo. Not as good as a promo as last time. That was kind of surprising. But, you know, whatever. He claims he's so good that he's making an open challenge for any roster on the match to face him. So he has an open challenge. Austin Aries, the newest signing. Let's see who accepts that challenge. No, don't ignore that. And Brodus Clay comes out and accepts his open challenge. So Brodus Clay, the big man, gives Austin Aries kind of a run for his money. The more experienced superstar. You know, Austin Aries not used to fighting, you know, kind of men of that caliber in that company down south that he buried on his way out. But actually, he did really good, by the way. 74 is pretty impressive for mid-card. He actually gets him in a quick roll-up, and he beats Brodus Clay. You know, it's a good showing for Austin Aries to get a match that good. So, you know, what can you say? We have a hype package showing off the feud of Cena and Ziggler. They probably replaced Cena's promo from last week on SmackDown, as well as having just some, just kind of montage. You know those awesome videos they do just before pay-per-views and during pay-per-views. I was pretty much just thinking that. So quick to get the storyline up. And in an abysmal match, we have Thea Fly of the Latina America tag team take on Astradula, formerly known as Bucky Nova. And Astradula wins with a vampiric bulldog. I finally changed that name and a thing. You know, overall, nothing match. Just kind of wanted to get Astrid on main TV, not just on dark shows and whatnot. So I thought that would be a little fun thing to do. And next we cut to, I should have wrote a promo for this one. So Kofi Kingston is talking to the camera, and he's pretty much talking about CM Punk, saying, CM Punk, you were a great champion, no one can deny. For the first, you know, almost year and a half of your run, it was really good. But eventually, you turned to the dark side, and that's, I think, what cost you. I probably wouldn't have even cashed in on you had you not just given a solitary effort to be, you know, a good person. But you can't just be a good champion. You gotta be morally good as well. And then he gets a tap on the shoulder, and he turns around, and it's the Second City selfies. Tyler Breeze is just taking pictures, but Colt Cabana says, look, Kofi, you know, we go way back, and Kofi's like, I literally have no idea who you are. I've literally never seen you before in my life. But Colt's like, look, I do go a long way back with CM Punk. So I'm going to give you some tips. So he starts giving him some tips how to, like, work over CM Punk. He's like, work the legs. He really doesn't like it when you work the legs. Especially when you give him staph infections. Kofi's like, what? So it was just a funny little segment, I thought, to build up the hype on Superstars for the main WWE title match between Kofi and CM Punk. And we have our main event of the evening, in which Dolph Ziggler and Ted DiBiase Jr. take on Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. And, oh my god, Dolph and, dang it, I can't think of the word. Dolph and Ted show really good chemistry working together as a tag team. Ziggler, they pick up the win when Dolph hits Zigzag on Jack Swagger, a former proponent of Vicky Guerrero. But yeah, no, that tag team thing is very interesting. I always am trying to look to build a tag team up, and it's also good to know, you know, with chemistry and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm gonna keep that in mind now. Has excellent chemistry when teaming together. So that's gonna end Superstars. So let's see how we did. ADB, kind of lacking. I think the Buggy Nova match took it down a bit, just because she's just not over. But yeah, no, overall pretty good show. But we're gonna move into the main show, which is SmackDown. Alright, so we're in SmackDown now, and Shawn Michaels, the general manager, comes out and says, tonight, Ziggler, Cena, they're going to have a sit-down contract signing, moderated between the two by, of course, yours truly, Shawn Michaels. So, we're going to have to see how John and Ziggler can cause this in the same ring just a week before Extreme Rules. And we have a tag team bout between the Usos and the Motor City Machines. The Motor City Machines picking up the win in a really good match, actually, 83. When Shelly and Sabin work together, they're just awesome as a tag team, and that's just great. But during the match, Ingame come out briefly, and after the match, the Motor City Machine Guns run after them to the backstage area. We're not sure where they go, but sound victory over the Usos. I haven't done much with the Usos at all, so kind of my fault, but at the same time, I was never a real big fan of babyface Usos. At least this era's babyface Usos with, like, the tribal paint and the stupid dance and shit. And I do remember as a kid when they would go, y'all, we say Us, y'all say oh, and they'd go Us, and everyone would just go boo. They brought that on themselves. And then we have I forgot I made this for a Intercontinental title match. Glad I didn't put it for the storyline. They got a pretty good rating, despite them not clicking, but Goldust defends his Intercontinental title against another big man in the form of Lord Tensai, coming over from from Raw to SmackDown. He makes his first defense of the Intercontinental Championship. Goldust just, defending his shot once more. But after the match is the real story. As Ryback comes down to ring and he has a stare-off with Goldust. Their last man standing match. And it looks like Ryback, he looks like he has the momentum going because Goldust looks kind of scared of Ryback. I mean, I think everyone would be scared of Ryback this era. But, it's going to take a lot for Goldust to defend his IC title. We'll have to see if he can against Ryback. But, Goldust, he is a technical guy. Say what you will about Goldust as a gimmick. As a wrestler, he's not too bad. And Ryback, he's a lot of look, not a lot of substance. Waka waka joke there. But, we'll have to see when these two clash at Extreme Rules. Next, we have the fallout of, remember, like I said before, Shelly and Sabin chased Insane, and they're trying to brawl, they're goading each other on, but they stop as Mr. McMahon power walks right past them like, bitch, out of the way, I got shit to do. Mr. McMahon was not scheduled to be on SmackDown. What is the chairman of WWE doing? What is he doing here? We'll have to see later in the night. Cut now. And then we got some Divas action in a pretty decent match also. AJ Lee and the Gate Crashers, the team of Velvet and Katie Lee, take on Eve and the Divas of Doom. AJ Lee pins Beth Phoenix with the Shining Wizard, the champ getting the all-important win over in that segment. Just getting some momentum. A pretty good Divas match. Got a lot of Divas on the card. Eve has kind of become a jobber at this point. She had a 58. In the beginning of the game, I don't think she got good ratings at all anyway. She's actually gotten to the point where she's, like, complaining about her booking. And if she was, like, one of those people... I've never actually had that in a game. I always try to make everyone happy where their crest releases. But I literally don't... if I remember correctly, Eve Torres won the Divas title, lost it to Alicia Fox, and then just immediately quit. Like, they filmed the thing on YouTube where she's like, I quit. And then that was the end. That's the last time you ever saw her. So maybe we do that, but probably not. And then we have a segment with... oh, God. Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. They come out and said their alliance to end Nashmania is strong. And they're not going to rest until Kevin Nash retires from in-ring competition. Of course, Big Sexy comes out and he says he talked to his buddy Sean, who's the GM. They go way back in case you didn't read the dirt sheets. He gave Kevin a match. A tag match at Extreme Rules. Him and a partner of his choosing, facing Alberto and Swagger. And of course, Alberto and Swagger are like, what? We didn't know we were going to be on the card. Kevin says not only are they both familiar with his partner, but he's a WCW alum like he is. And it turns out Kevin Nash's partner is indeed Rey Mysterio. So it's going to be official. Kevin Nash, Rey Mysterio, versus Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger at Extreme Rules. Should be an interesting match. I'm going to just flat out say, like, this doesn't seem... Like, right now the storyline has kind of been muddled in the Cena Ziggler and all the other stuff. Cena Ziggler's kind of taken, like, the majority of the storylines, and that's fine. But you guys have literally no idea where I'm going with the Kevin Nash thing. I had this idea in my head, and I gotta give credit to Book It Better, because I watched this video on, like, how to write storylines and stuff, and I kind of implemented. This was the first thing I did. You guys, like, okay. Also, I should first say, it's like, you know, the mod's pretty overpowered. Like, Alberto alone got a 95 A-star. And it's like, say what that you want, you will, but I really like how it lets me tell stories that I want to tell on TEW. That's why this is my current favorite mod to play. And this, like I said, this story is gonna go insane. I'll just say that as a little spoiler for it. And then we have, I thought this would do pretty good. Zack Ryder's gimmick needs to be changed up a bit. What drove this match down? Just low heat. So Drew McIntyre and Mark Henry, they defeat Sheamus and Zack Ryder when Drew McIntyre actually hits Sheamus with a snap double, I believe that's the Future Shock, DDT. He hits the Future Shock on Sheamus. He actually pins Mr. Money in the Bank, so that's gotta be good for your momentum. But overall, yeah, pretty decent match between these two, these main event upper mid-card people. And then we get to the final segment of the show. And the contract signing between Cena and Ziggler actually goes pretty good. Cena and Ziggler seem focused on their match at Extreme Rules. They're too focused to beat each other up. They're too focused to beat each other up now. But just as SmackDown looks like it's about to fade to black, the chairman himself, Mr. McMahon, arrives. He power walks. He has a microphone, and he looks dead at Cena. He says, "Cena, look at me, Cena. I know what you're really doing here. You talked all that crap about the fans turning on you and you realizing mistakes. Well, I realized something too. I realized you're a loser, an absolute failure of a figurehead, and it was a mistake for me to push you. I created you. I pushed you to the moon and back. And don't you forget it, damn it. I made you, John, not the other way around. You need WWE. WWE doesn't need you." And as soon as, he's saying this stuff, Cena tries to rush Vince, but is stopped by Ziggler. He super kicks him, but he doesn't take him off the ground. The two brawl a little bit, trading blows, only briefly, so a small skirmish, a security rush, and they pull the two apart. John Cena probably beats a couple security men down for doing their job, that nasty heel of him. And SmackDown ends with the champ and the challenger driven away. This is probably the most important match on the card. I believe it might be the main event. I've debated which to actually book as the main event. But, it's got competition with Punk and Kofi. But this is really something. We're going to end the show here. And a 88, really 88B? What did Drow get down? SmackDown just not been getting good ratings lately. That's kind of sad. I don't know what it is. It's probably just the kind of mediocre matches. Well, what can you do? So we'll fix that later on. But I keep getting depressed about the ratings, even though I'm like, oh, ratings don't matter. So I'm just a hypocrite. But I would love to see what you guys think. Extreme Rules is the next video. Can't wait for it. Our second ever pay-per-view. I'll see you guys there.